Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my favourite makeup items that I use to do my everyday makeup, but also my more unique looks, which you can go check out on my Instagram. Please excuse the wonky hairline. I didn't actually realise it was that bad, but yeah, I'm not usually into middle partings and my hair doesn't like it either. So I normally start off with moisturising, so I just use a simple moisturiser. This is the day cream and it's SPF 15, so it's good for the skin, and I've got quite sensitive skin as well. I've sometimes suffer with eczema, not necessarily on my face, but I like to use simple for my skin specifically. I think because this feels so light on my skin, that's why I like it, and you don't feel it underneath your foundation. So I don't normally prime. I've tried primers in the past for my skin, but I don't find it actually helps in any way to keep my foundation on, and it doesn't improve the look of it either. I find it just makes the foundation slip off my skin more. So I tend to skip primer and go straight to foundation. So once my moisturiser has soaked into my skin a little bit, I then move on to my foundation, and I use the Dermacool Makeup Cover Foundation. So you may have seen this used on tattoos because it's such a full coverage foundation, and I love full coverage foundation. I don't really see the point in wearing a non-full coverage foundation, so that's why I use this one, and you'll see how good the results are in a second. I use the Morphe Beauty Blender to apply my foundation. It's a little dirty, so do ignore that. So because I've got quite combination skin, I do find this foundation to be quite oily. As long as I powder enough, and I do powder regularly, it looks okay throughout the day. And it's a good foundation for evening wear, but if you're wearing it over the day, it can be quite oily. As you can see, it's applied to my skin quite oily and it looks quite shiny, but the powder will sort that out. So the shade range is also really good for this foundation as well. So now my foundation is done, I move on to my concealer, and of course it seems to be everyone's favourite, as it's such a good concealer, is the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. I use C1, I just like to use it a little bit lighter than my skin just to highlight the areas I want to. I'm really running out, I need to order some more. I don't conceal too much, I tend to just conceal under my eyes, around my nose, and any blemishes that I have. I tend to find that I have to do my eyes first, and then my nose, and then blemishes, because the concealer does dry out quite quickly on my skin. I think Revolution is just a really good brand in general, and I really want to order some more makeup from them. So now I'm going to move on to my powder. So I use the Rimmel Match Perfection powder. So I prefer a loose powder over a compact powder, because I just find I have a bit more control over it and I get more product out of it, especially with this foundation as well, because I need quite a bit of powder to set the foundation to begin with, and then I can just use a little bit over the day to touch up my T-zone and areas that I get oily. I just pop a bit into the lid, and it comes with a, what's this called? I've actually forgotten the name of this, but it comes with one of these and I use this to apply to my face. So I start off with my under eyes, and then I spread this around my face. I've just got powder all over my bed. Oh, excuse me. I find just gently tapping it in works well for me. Like, I've tried brushes in the past, but I just find it just sits on my skin. Then if I pat it in, I find that then it soaks into the foundation and works with it. So now my base is done, I'm going to move on to bronzer. So in fact, I have never contoured. I don't feel confident enough to do it, and I just don't want to end up with big brown lines on my face, so I prefer to do a more subtle bronzer. So for my bronzer, I love my Kiko bronzers. So this one I actually got on holiday to Mallorca back in March, and it's the Sicilian Notes Baked Bronzer. And I love their packaging, and they smell so good. And they just look really cute as well. I find they're nice and thin as well, so they're easy to take away if you're traveling. And yeah, they're just overall really good bronzers. As you can see though, it just adds that nice colour. And I just work it around my hairline and around my cheek and on my nose as well. I just love these bronzers because you can either do just a light brush of colour, or you can then build it to make it a bit more snatched. And I've got an obsession with keeping boxes as well. I don't know why, it just takes up more room in my makeup drawer. And I make life hard for myself. And now moving on to blusher, we've got Kiko again. They nail blusher and bronzers for me. So this one is my absolute favourite at the moment. It's so pretty. Just look at that. It's just such a nice glow, and it's not, again, I don't like too harsh of a colour, just to give your cheeks a bit more colour and a bit more life. You can just see the difference there. Again, these are buildable as well. Oh, I just dunked my finger in it, no! Just the packaging as well, it's just so cute. So sparkly. So now, this is one of my favourite parts, and I think most people's favourite parts of makeup, and that's highlighter. I couldn't just pick one, could I? No, of course not. I had to pick 3. I wanted to share with you what I have been trying, and I know most people have issues with this, and it's highlighting drops. So these are the ones from Kiko, and this is Wonder Drops in shade 1 from, again, the Magical Holiday Collection. This one, it's nice and I do like it, and I've been practicing it. I tried it with brushes, I tried it with my finger, and I find with my finger is better for highlighting drops. But I find these ones, because it's like a gold and my skin's quite pale, it sometimes can look like an orange line from certain angles. So I think I would need a lighter colour. But the highlighting drops with your finger, as long as you literally do literally one drop on your finger and just dab it and blend it with your finger, I find it works well. I just want to try different shades of the highlighting drops. And one shout out I actually want to give for highlighters is Rihanna's Fenty Beauty. So this is How Many Carats. I'm just going to show you this. This is a treat. So it's beautiful packaging. But just look at that. Oh. It's not like a very strong colour, but it's like, it literally looks like diamonds on your finger. It's beautiful, and for a night out, this is my go-to. And I find you can actually put this on top of other highlighters, and it just dropped it. And I find you can actually put this on top of other highlighters, and it just looks beautiful with anything. But this is the one I use every day. It's cheap, drugstore. It was about £3 I paid for it, and it's the, I can't even read it, it's, the writing is worn out. MUA Undress Your Skin Shimmer Highlighter. It's actually broken that I've used it that much. But this shade is beautiful, you can't even see it. But it's a shimmery gold. This is the shade Iridescent Gold. They have so many different shades of highlighter, and they're just, for £3, they are so good. The good thing is you don't even need to wet your brush for this one. You literally just rub it a few times in the pan, and the payoff is incredible, as I'm about to show you. So I tend to only highlight a few areas of my face, so my cheekbones, my nose, sometimes my forehead, and sometimes my brow bone, but depending on how much space I need for my eye look, I tend to leave that till last. So moving on to brows, as you can see, I am obsessed with Kiko. So I use the eyebrow pencil. I've always struggled to try and find the right shade for my eyebrows. Is there a really weird shade of blonde, and I've tried some products that make my eyebrows look orange, and we don't want that. So this one is shade 04, and it's like this, again, as you can see, it's a weird shade, so yeah, you can see how this looks. I don't often fill in my brows. Some days I do, some days I don't, depending on how I feel, but just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you how I do it. So my eyebrows are quite bushy anyway, so I just brush them up and then just fill in the areas that need filling in. I just do gentle brush strokes as I like a more natural brow. Once I've filled in, I then brush the products through my eyebrows a bit more, my brush again, and that's pretty much all I do for my brows. They don't really get that much attention, apart from a plucking every now and again. Here's a throwback for you. Urban Decay Primer Potion. I have been using this primer since 2014, when I first got one on my school trip to New York. This is so good, and I have not found a primer that works for me better. I want to try the P. Louise eye primers, but until I try them, this is my favourite. I just dab it on my fingers because I just find I have more control of my finger. And I take it right up to my brow. So, eyeshadow. So the trouble I had today was I had to pick my favourite palette, and I have lots of favourites. So I have picked for you my favourite palette, but also my most used palette. So my most used palette is the trusty Morphe 35B. So I have more recently been trying to do different looks, more colourful looks. So this is just my go-to. It's so good, so many different colours, and I find the payoff from this palette is so good. With this palette, a little goes a long way. So that's my most used and one of my favourites. But as you've seen throughout the video, my favourite palette is Jeffree Star's Jawbreaker palette. So Jeffree Star's eyeshadows are my absolute favourite, and I've got Bloodlust, I've got Blue Blood and Blood Sugar. Jawbreaker is my favourite because, again, there's so many different colours to work with, and there's so many looks you can get out of this. This is one of those ones where it's flat, so it's easy to take with you. It is quite big, but it doesn't take up much room if you want to take it travelling with you. I don't know what to work with today. I'm thinking of going with Cherry Wet, as I've not actually used this shade before, so Cherry Wet's down here. I might just do that all over the lid, go for a bold look today. The only problem with Jeffree Star's palettes is there's got a lot of fallout, and it does fall out a lot on your face as well, so as long as you've got a brush to just brush it away, it's not really a problem. This is why eye primer is so important with Jeffree Star's palettes as well, because if you're not wearing primer, the payoff on your eyelid isn't particularly great, as it needs a sticky layer to work with. I think so many people are scared to work with Jeffree's palettes because they're just so bright and so different, but I couldn't recommend it more. Just to sit in your room and just practice makeup, it's the best thing you can do. You can then get to know your eye shape and what works for you. I think I'm going to go in with Good Morning, which is this little light pink up here, just to blend out the top. And then I'm going to go in with Raspberry, which is a darker red, just in the crease. Right, so I think that's all good. So one thing about Jawbreaker that I like, it actually comes with a highlighter shade in here called Jawbreaker. And I pop this on my brow bone. So my holy grail eyeliner is the Maybelline Hyper Precise All Day Black Liquid Liner. So this is a felt tip felt tip eyeliner. This is the eyeliner that I use to do my wing liner, and because it's so precise, it's so easy to work with. I don't know if I'll do a wing today, I'll try, but I don't want to ruin the look. It took me absolutely years to master the wing liner, so don't beat yourself up if you don't get it right the very first attempt. I find I have to balance my arm on a surface to be able to get my eyeliner perfect. If not, there's no hope, so that's why we're only doing a little line today.
2 hours later.
That'll do. So for mascara, I absolutely love this one and I have used it for years. So this is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. Mine's very dry at the moment, so this is going to take a bit of work. But yeah, I absolutely love it. My eyelashes are quite long, so I find this mascara gives them their full potential. And I always curl my eyelashes because they are dead straight. Yes, I pull the face as well. So the final makeup item that I'm going to share with you is lips. So I wanted to share with you my favourite gloss and then my favourite lipstick. So my favourite gloss, again Jeffree Star, is the gloss, and this is in the shade Spank Me. So what's nice about it is, again, it's buildable. It looks quite daunting in the bottle. It looks quite a Barbie pink, but it is just a nice subtle pink with glitter in. So it's perfect for every day or even more fancier occasions. But what we're going to use today is a velour liquid lipstick by Jeffree Star. And this is in the shade Cherry Wet. Exactly like my eyeshadow, which is why I picked the shade. So it's like a pinky red shade, and red lips are my absolute favourite. I'm trying to venture out into using other lipstick colours and shades. I find nudes don't really go with my skin complexion, but reds do, and you just can't go wrong with a red, can you? The best thing is as well, one dip and that's enough. So that is all the makeup favourites that I have to share with you today. I know you're probably thinking, what about lashes or setting spray? So I haven't yet found any products of those two that work for me. So if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. Also let me know in the comments if you would like to continue seeing makeup videos from myself. I'd love it if you could leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you all again very soon.